Hey guys, gotta say thanks. It was a real hoot reading all the comments in my last vid. Obviously struck a chord with a lot of you. Read the whole mix-up I did with the super graphics and not realising the game would work in my PC Engine or Duo. And yeah, thought it was a bit of a hoot. Thanks for taking it easy on me, and it seems like a lot of you are quite sympathetic to the whole situation with the PC Engine. It can be quite confusing with the revisions and new and different versions, etc. And yeah, it's really cool hearing some of your experiences. I've got to give my condolences to Mr. Vengeance. He left a comment on that video saying at least he didn't pay $300 on a copied version of Sapphire. So yeah, I got off pretty lightly. I got the game for a good price, and yeah, I'm going to hold on to it and sort of keep my fingers crossed for a cheap super graphics console one day. Now, been really enjoying the PS2 shooters that I got of late, and I've picked up some great shooters over the last few months, so I just want to share them now. But I've just been using the hand controller. So just recently I picked up a Mayflash Universal Arcade Stick. Heard good things about them, both the build quality and the price is right. You know, you can pick these up for $30, and they're actually compatible with the PS3 as well. So dual plug there, one for the PS3 and for the PS2, but obviously backwards with the PS1. And yeah, nice and solid, good big size. Nothing wrong with the buttons, and the stick feels pretty good. Albeit a wee bit loose, but nah. Give it a test drive and it's really good. So stoked to have that, and again, they're quite cheap, so check them out. The first PS2 shmup I'm going to show you is one I wanted to knock off the perch, a real gem, heard so much about it. Future Matt's done a great review of it. I'll put a link below because a lot of seems like the sequel is quite abundant on the Xbox 360, but the original may have been overlooked perhaps by a lot of people, although it's one of the most revered cave shooters and well known, and that is, gonna get this right, Mushihimesama for the PS2. And this is the Taito best version, or classic hits version, hence the closed borders. But I estimate sort of on average I saved about a third of the price just for having the best of version, so I'm happy with that. And she's a minter, amazing looking game, and notorious. There's a video on YouTube, it's got heaps and heaps of hits. It's called the hardest boss fight ever, and I remember clicking on that a few years ago and just jaw dropped at the bullet hell boss, and was looking forward to taking it on in this game. And it is in this game, but I suspect it's a true end boss that you'd have to achieve through finishing the game in a certain amount of credits or something. I have to look into it, but still, amazing game. Check out the review below and some of Matt's sublime shmupping dodging skills in that. Great, super stoked to have that. And another game, another vertical, bullet hell. The original, love it to bits. Actually a YouTuber on here, Showers in the UK, sent it to me. Thanks so much, bro, never forget that. It's called Cyvaria, and that is so... actually, I won't be playing Cyvaria on the Mayflash because I actually think it works really well with the hand controller. What, you know, maybe lost perhaps a bit of the control is balanced out with the great way that the buzz system on Cyvaria works with the vibration in the DualShock. Works so well with the game, that sort of tactile experience, so you really know where you're at with the whole buzz system. I've probably lost a few of you now talking about this whole buzz system if you're not familiar with the games, but I've picked up the sequel, which is leaps and bounds better than the first, which I love so much, and it is Cyvaria 2 Ultimate Final. Now, this is also on the Dreamcast, and much more expensive. And with the Dreamcast and shooters, generally they're the better ports, but I hear around the traps that this PS2 version is actually better than it in a few respects than the, or on par at least, with the Cyvaria game on the Dreamcast. And what something extra it's got is a capture DVD showing some masters playing it, which is a nice touch. Haven't had a look at that yet. But again, I'm going to put another link to Future Matt's channel where he's done an in-depth review on this and shows you the, talks through the whole gameplay mechanics and shows you the amazing graphics and bullet patterns and the whole system in this game. And it's just something I love about it, that whole buzz system. You know, I get hooked on it, and you can choose between two fighters that one's particularly strong with firing and the other one's more of a buzz orientated one. So I'd be definitely going for that, because that's the really unique thing that sets this game apart, in my opinion. And yeah, beautiful. Just as we note, the Dreamcast version's got beautiful cover art, and it's called Cyvaria, the will to fabricate. You know, that sounds cool. Don't know what it means, but sounds nasty. But this one's Ultimate Final, and you know, the cover art's nothing to write home about, but it's meant to be a really, really good port, and better than the Dreamcast release in some respects. And the main thing is that I picked this up for like $34. You know, you'll be looking at $134 for the Dreamcast version. So it's that. Really, really recommend that shooter. And another classic, a game that seems to be common as muck in the US. It just seems to be flooded with you lucky bastards over there getting flooded with the game. You've got heaps of them. You can pick it up dirt cheap there. But I don't have a US PS2 or PS1, so I can't play it, and there's no point in actually buying it for that. In PAL, it's really rare. The game commands really high prices, and in Japan it's sort of middle ground, like it's still a wee bit pricey, but not as extreme as PAL release, and that is Raiden 3. Massive Raiden fan, and I was impressed with this. You know, nice flashy graphics, sort of. It's got that definite Raiden feel, frantic, hardcore, pack a punch, quick blast. If you want to pick up a game and have a quick blast, no, Raiden 3 is it. The new weapons, pretty choice, but if I really want to get my Raiden fix, it'll still be Raiden DX on the PS1. But there's nothing wrong with this game at all. Many of you would have played it. As I said, there's abundant in the States, and you know, I got a really good deal on this, considering it seems to be it's about $75 for the Japanese version, but I got it from the UK actually. It's like £20, so really, really happy. She's new. Speaking of the UK, this is the next game I got from there, and its seller seems to have a few. So recently got it, still in its cellophane, brand new. And the sellers, as I said, has got a bunch of them, and I think it's like £20, and it's totally worth it. Seen, heard great things and seen great things of Dragon Blaze. Made sure that there's nothing altered from the Japanese release of this. Is like, you know, this retains tape mode and stuff, because, you know, notoriously some of the Japanese shmups, you know, for the PAL release get tape mode taken out and crazy stuff like that. But this retains it apparently. It's a Psikyo shooter, and you know, it's not a cookie cutter Psikyo shooter in respect that, you know, sameish. You know how they can be a bit sameish. This looks really unique and different, and yeah, really, really happy to get a brand new copy of that, £20, brand new. Now, at the other end of the spectrum, I'll show you some really good shooters here, but there's one here that I guarantee probably none of you have heard of, especially in the States. Now, I tried to find out if there was a US release, but there's no information on Wiki or just anything on Google at all, and that's probably because people want to erase it from their minds. And it's a budget release, official budget release for the PS2. I'll digress a wee bit and say that this is a game I already had called Guerrilla Strike. Now, this is made by the same company that this game I'm about to show you. Absolutely abysmal. It's amazing that PS2 even allowed this to be released officially on their system. Now this, you can just see a black and white disc. The manual is just 2 pages basically of warning, the typical sort of generic stuff they have in it. Not a single picture. As budget as you can get, and it is just beyond generic and just awfulest shooter I've ever played almost. I'll show this in one of my old videos, you know, the worst shooters. This is terrible. And just for collection's sake for shooters, I retained it, I've kept it. But it's hideous. But there's another game that the same developers made, and I just picked it up recently. Haven't played it yet, but it's going to be monstrous. I know it. There's footage on YouTube. I'll put footage below. You know, I see there's one comment on there, just someone just deriding it, just how utter shit he's. Someone said that even the first generation mobile phones didn't have anything near as monstrous as this. Now, it's called Shadow of Ganymede. It's the same deal with the manual and disc, just the same shit, and just the most awful thing. Now, I know there's a couple of my viewers out there like Soft Otaku, you're after complete collections. I think this might just be a palette exclusive. This is a horizontal shmup, if you can call it that, and you can buy it. I just looked on eBay, £2 sealed. Buy now. So it doesn't. You couldn't even pay most people to take it, but I grabbed it, and I haven't played it yet, and yeah, it'll be just for curiosity's sake, and just to keep it as a shooter in the PS2 collection. So sorry to end on such a bad note there with Shadow of Ganymede. But do check out those other shmups, guys, and take it easy. I'll see you later.